The Supreme Court is clearing the way for the Trump administration to end the protected status of hundreds of thousands of Venezuelan citizens living in the U.S. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Lee.
And I'm Keith. Kate, thank you for joining us tonight. Today, the justice is releasing an order pausing a ruling by a federal judge that had blocked the Secretary of Homeland Security from terminating Venezuelans' protections. News Channel 8's Nicole Rogers joining us live in Tampa. So, Nicole, what does this mean for our Venezuelan community?
Keith, Jen, we're getting a look into that answer by taking a look online. So this is the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services website. On here it says the Department of Homeland Security has every intention of ending Venezuela TPS under the 2023 designation as soon as it obtains relief from the court order. So you're wondering what that means. Relief from what court order? Well, it was a previous one, and when you talk about that happening, that's what this Supreme Court ruling did. It undid that court ruling. So now we have a bunch of attorneys that are trying to figure out what exactly does this mean, interpreting this document. So what comes next is the question.
There are people in the Tampa Bay area that are highly stressed. They don't know what this means to them. They're like, well, does my license expire? Can I still go to work tomorrow?
Let's start from the beginning. A temporary protected status, or TPS, is granted to people from countries experiencing extraordinary conditions that make it unsafe for them to return home, things like war or an environmental disaster. In 2021, Venezuelans were granted TPS given their country's political turmoil. In 2023, the Biden administration extended that designation for another 18 months. But in February, Christine Nome, the new Secretary of Homeland Security, reversed those protections, giving many Venezuelans until April 2nd to leave the country. But a judge in California temporarily postponed that decision in late March. And that brings us to today, when immigration attorney Danielle Hernandez says the Supreme Court temporarily paused that California judge's decision.
The government is free to move forward with ending TPS the way they see fit.
What will this mean for the people who before had to be out by April 2nd?
So technically right now that's the $100 million question. We know what we know. We know that the government is free to move forward with their plan to dismantle it and do away with it. I don't know precisely what this means for these people. They are in a state of a limbo.
Her advice?
If you have your attorney, make sure you're up to date on what's going on, what you have pending, and a copy of all of your documents.
So again, we have all of these attorneys that are interpreting today's document, but so far we haven't heard anything from the Department of Homeland Security and don't have those secure answers for Venezuelans in the Tampa Bay community. Hernandez says it's important to remember these are all just temporary measures, and so Venezuelans are unfortunately going to have to continue playing the waiting game, at least for now. Live in Tampa, Nicole Rogers, 8 on your side.